Hey friends, I'm Linda Moon, Director of Grow Kids Curriculum. Welcome to the series walkthrough for Big Picture, a 5-week series from the Gospels all about the teachings of Jesus. We recommend this series for the month of March because learning about Jesus' parables and what they meant align with our spring discipleship strategy, Spend Time with God. However, our scope and sequence takes kids through every major Bible story in 3 years, so feel free to teach the series whenever you'd like. So let's take a closer look at what Big Picture is all about. In week 1, we'll look at Matthew chapter 13 and the parable of the sower, the way Jesus explained what this parable meant and how our hearts can be like the good soil point to this week's big idea. God helps us know what's true. In week 2, we'll go to Matthew chapter 25, which is a parable of the bags of gold or parable of the talents, if that's what you're familiar with. As each worker is evaluated for their contribution and stewardship, we're reminded of this week's big idea. We can give back to God. Then in week 3, we'll go to Luke chapter 10 for the parable of the Good Samaritan, the way the wounded man received unexpected help and compassion reminds us of the week 3 big idea. God sends us helpers. In week 4, we're in Luke chapter 13 with the parable of the fig tree. When kids learn about how the gardener wanted to give the tree time to bear fruit, they'll remember this week's big idea. God gives us second chances. And finally, in week 5, we'll end up with the most famous parable in Luke chapter 15, the parable of the lost son. And even though the prodigal son, after squandering his inheritance, thought he didn't deserve to be his father's son, his father ran to him and celebrated his return. That's why this week's big idea is we belong in God's family. This month's memory verse, Jeremiah 33:3, reminds us of the heart of Jesus' parables. Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Now let's talk about the theme. At Grow Kids, we love pairing an engaging theme with each teaching series and creating an environment around it to really bring the Bible stories to life. The theme for this series is movies because we're talking about how Jesus sometimes teaches us through stories. So, to decorate your space, you can give it the red carpet treatment with literal red carpet and gold stars, or you can go the route of maybe making it look like the inside of a movie theater with red curtains and film related props. Deck out your space with lots of red, black, and gold colors and fun DIY accents like film spools and director chairs and Oscar trophies. And that should bring your theme to life in your space. And don't miss out on building a concession stand throughout this series that kids can get their treats from. And you can have movie theater inspired snacks like popcorn, candy, hot dogs, and nachos. And also consider passing out things like VIP passes and cute on theme favors as giveaways this month to help them connect more to the theme as well. But before you do anything, make sure you go check out this environment guide that I'm showing you that is included in your resources folder that contain these ideas and even more ideas, font and color schemes, Pinterest board links, curated Spotify playlists, and information on how to access original music from growmusic.org. So you have an overview of the series as well as a look into how to theme up your ministry space. Now let's talk about some of the exciting features of Big Picture. Now, if you've been using Grow for a while, then you know our teaching is always broken up into 3 sections. We kick things off with the what section, which hooks kids with activities and questions that set up the Bible story and big idea. Then we move to the so what section, which teaches and reinforces the scripture passages and big idea. And then we get to the now what section, which helps kids dive deeper into what it all means and how they can apply everything they learned to their lives and in their relationship with God. But within this consistent structure that stays the same every time, each series uses a different combination of building blocks like activities, object lessons, videos, reflections, and others in each major section to help teach the material in fun and new ways. And so let's check out which of these building blocks are unique to Big Picture and how they will level up your teaching this month. First, I want to call your attention to the video module. We supply teaching videos for elementary's Grow TV. For preschool, it's Callie's World. But in this series, we are also including a separate video clip to be used every single week. Just like our theme suggests, kids absorb modern day parables through the media, like movies. And we think that bringing in pop culture from time to time can help kids further understand the truths from scripture because it's in a medium that's familiar to them. So, in conjunction with in depth teaching about Jesus' parables, we're also recommending a video clip each week to show the kids. And sometimes it's a scene from a movie or a clip that explains how special effects work, for example. The clips will further solidify the takeaways from the Bible story and act as a bridge to the big idea. Next, we have the reflection block, which is usually how we kick off the Now What section in Grow Kids. And this time is for kids to dive deeper into each week's teaching, ask questions about its meaning, and start thinking about how they can apply it in their lives. So this month, each week's reflection time is called Big Picture Storyboard, where kids are invited to first write or draw one aspect of this week's parable and put it up on the board. And this can be a cork board or foam board or whatever board you have on hand. And this should help leaders see which parts of the story stuck out to kids. And maybe you could even use what they drew or wrote as a way to recap the story as you go through this reflection time together. We've also supplied a few open-ended questions for each week's reflection building block to get kids talking about today's topic. Remember that reflection is a time for kids to open up and share. So don't focus on getting the answers right. Instead, be more curious about what the kids are saying and where the discussion is taking you. And be prepared, of course, to give your own responses to get the discussion going, especially if you have a group of very shy kids. And if you don't know already, preschoolers are also learning the same parables, big ideas, and memory verse this month as the big kids. They have the same theme, big picture. So, as a special treat for this series, we don't do this often, but we are doing it for this series because we thought it was so cute and on theme. For snack time, which is something we incorporate into sharing time in the preschool series, we are going to suggest making this a mini movie time. And so you can provide popcorn or corn puffs for the younger kids, where popcorn might be a choking hazard for them. And you can invite kids to munch on some snacks as they watch a short movie clip or even a video clip that recaps the parable, because there are so many good animated clips out there that teach the parable that we just talked about in our Bible story section. And if you're short on time, you could actually use this time and show the teaching video. You can show the Callie's World video while they munch on their movie snack. So feel free to go all out and make this a super fun activity for kids. Make it really look like a drive-in movie theater if you'd like, with cardboard boxes as cars. You can get super creative and make this series come alive for the kids. And it's also a great way to exercise some repetition so kids can get another avenue of learning through these movie clips or the teaching video, whatever you choose. And that was a quick look at Big Picture. I hope you all have a blast bringing this series to life on the big screen, aka your teaching space. There's nothing quite like watching kids learn and connect with scripture, and you all are so awesome for tackling that every week. Make sure you reach out and share your experience with the series with us through posts and photos on Instagram at Stuff You Can Use, or in our Facebook group, Stuff You Can Use, a children's ministry community. Until next time, friends. Bye.